Okay. Now let's get started with the second module of our tutorial where we were talking about getting started with React Redux. As I promised you, we will be talking majorly about everything that concerns creating a successful React Redux application. As we go on, we will be creating majorly a CRUD application. That means that we will be doing all operations on that's create, read, delete, and update. So in this second module, I just want us to talk about presentational component. As earlier, we just create our application and we ran our application. But what about now creating the components that make up the applications? Majorly in day-to-day or JavaScript or HTML, we actually make use of HTML tags. We make use of we actually use HTMLs, but in React they had a concept of where that an application is made of components, is made of small blocks of components. So in this first, like the second module, I want to talk about presentational components. As you can see from the slide, presentational components presents data. How data look like? How does our HTML divs look like? And then also these are stateless. Also later we will be talking about this, talk about the states and props in React Redux. But in this tutorial, I'm just going to say that presentational components actually are stateless components, but that's not all the time. Also later in this video, we'll look at those. Majorly, our presentation components are our child. They are the child of a container component. So if we have a pattern, we have a navbar and we have a footer, and then we want to make one single component that will make a page using this pattern, navbar, and footer. That's where presentational component comes. So we separate our small components as navbar and then import them in our main page, and then that makes a container component, which we will be looking in the next video. So let's now get started coding. So this was just the theory part of it. So I had created earlier our application where we are importing from route. Like we are importing, we were creating using Create React Hub, which is built by Facebook. So what I'm going to do with this video, I'm going to create a presentation component, which we will, which actually we will replace this image and this paragraph and this tag here with our component, with our presentational component. But later in the next video for container component, we will be importing, the only thing we will be importing in the class app is the main application. You will notice as I build this application, you will notice that there are many changes that I will be making in the future because I will make our application in a manner that everything is separated. We have routes, we have like even our application only renders one thing, like we may have routes only in this part and other components outside it. But let's just get started slow by slow. I hope you are enjoying the video. So I'm going to create a file called main, like, or main page or simple component. Let's just call it simple component. So let me create this simple component .js. So we are getting here simple component, but I will move, I am sorry I put there, I want to move it to source. So In this symbol component, what are we creating? We are creating a presentational component, like a presentational component. So what I'm going to do is to import React from React. So there is no need of me importing what do we call component, or we do react.extend component. What I'm going to do is just, it's majorly like a pure function. It's like a pure function. So that is a symbol component, which is a function. It's just almost like a function. So we will be passing later, we'll be looking at how we pass our props to our to our like to our to present the data in our components. We can be using the state, the props, which we'll be looking at this in the video later on. So what I'm going to do is just return. I just want to we have here a div. A div, we will take one and adding paragraph, and let's say this uh, let's call this with getting started with React Redux. And then I put a paragraph, just a simple paragraph to say this is a web page created with simple React Redux. And then actually there is this we can export as default or as a constant. So I will export this as a default. You will notice that when I create as a default, if I, let's say I want to import this to be used in app.js, so I will import maybe symbol uh, this symbol component from simple component. Actually, we can change this because it is a default value. We can also change how we import. We name it with capital letters, but here it is like we are starting in this is we are starting S with a small letter here. But if it was exporting just a constant, then actually we will be importing with this. But there are other concepts that I will be talking later in other videos. So let's replace, as promised, we want to replace this part with simple component. That's what we are going to do. It's just an HTML, like it's an HTML tag. So for instance, after importing our simple component here, we can notice that our logo is actually not being used again for this case because we have removed this logo. So actually notice how we write our presentational component. It's just actually a functional component. It doesn't have, we don't have to manage state here. We don't have, like, we just present the data as you can see from the slides. So what I'm going to do is to yarn start the application, like start the application. So as we can see, we have replaced what was here earlier with our presentational component. So uh, as I can say is this is just a simple one. We will now, in the next video, I hope you will be moving to the next video where we will be looking about now container component, where we will be managing our state. Get in touch with me and welcome to the next video. Thank you.